Hi everyone, my name is Mallikarjun. Generally, students call me MK sir. Okay, here I am going to explain structural analysis and design of steel structure. Okay, GATE 2021 solutions. Okay, first I'll explain structural analysis subject. Okay, GATE 2021 solutions, please. Okay, right here. First, morning session question paper. Okay, I'll discuss here first. Okay, so in this is the first question. Okay, in this question given a truss EFGH is shown in the figure in which all the members have same axial rigidity. Okay, given all members have same axial rigidity, given axial rigidity is R, nothing but AE, axial rigidity is nothing but AE, right? So here AE equals to R. Okay, then in the figure P is the magnitude of external horizontal forces acting at joints F and G. Okay, he given axial rigidity value, okay, given load value, given length, and he asking to find magnitude of horizontal displacement of joint G, okay, in mm. Okay, he asking to find the horizontal displacement at joint G in mm, he asking. Okay, right. Then here first let me take out the given data here. Okay, so here this R is nothing but axial rigidity, right? So generally we'll use notation AE, right, for axial rigidity, but he given R. So what is the formula to find the horizontal displacement at joint G? Okay, here I'll use the unit load method. Okay, I'll use the unit load method to find the horizontal displacement of joint G. Okay, so what is the formula here? Horizontal displacement of joint so summation of PKL by AE. Okay, this is the formula to find the horizontal displacement of joint G. Okay, but given in the question axial rigidity given R, right? Okay, then this is PKL by R. Okay, AE is nothing but R, please. Okay, axial rigidity AE is nothing but R. Okay, only thing is here we have to find the P values and K values. Okay, this is unit load method, please. We are using unit load method to find the horizontal displacement at joint G. Okay, here where P is force in all the members due to real loads. Okay, force in all the members due to real loads. What are the real loads here? Okay, the given loads. Okay, this given load, the P loads are nothing but real loads. Okay, then due to real loads, forces will develop in the members, right? Yes, we have to find the forces in the members. To find the forces in the members, we have methods, right? Like method of joint, method of section. Okay, using method of joint or method of section, you can find the forces in these members. Okay, or you can use the shortcut also. Okay, I given two shortcuts. So first shortcut, at the joint, if the number of members are 3, 2 are in same line, then force in third member is 0. And what is the condition? At which joint we are applying shortcut? At the joint no load, no reaction, right? Okay, this is the first shortcut. And what is the second shortcut? At the joint, if the number of members are only 2 but 2 members are in different line, okay, 2 members are in different line, then forces in the 2 members are 0. Condition: at that particular joint, no load, no reaction. Okay, now using method of joint or method of section or using shortcut, you can find the forces in the members please. Okay, then what is K? Where K is forces in all the members due to virtual unit load applied where we want to find the deflection. Okay, but remember, to find the K values, we have to remove the real loads, right? Okay, after removing real loads, at which joint, in which direction we have to find the deflection, at that joint, in the direction of deflection, we have to apply virtual unit load please. Okay, what is the meaning of virtual? Virtual means imaginary load. Okay, first note on this, right? Where P is forces in all the members, forces in all the members due to real loads. Real loads are nothing but given loads. Okay, then here where K is forces in all the members due to virtual unit load applied. So we have to find the deflection at which joint? At a joint horizontal displacement at a joint G, right? Then apply unit load, virtual unit load at a joint G in which direction? We have to find the horizontal displacement, right? Then apply virtual unit load in horizontal direction only at a joint G. Okay, right, here apply unit load at joint G in horizontal direction. Okay, right, first we'll find the P values and K values. Okay, right, so let me draw the diagram. P values, so let me draw the diagram. The given load P, left side and right side, right, the given EF GH, right, EF GH, and given length L, okay, but in the data length given 3 meter, okay, and P given 150 kilo Newton, Okay, so here L is 3 meter and P is 150 kilonewton. Okay, right. Now we'll find the forces in these members. Okay, right. Then here first we'll find the support reactions. Without finding support reactions, is it possible to find the force in all the members? Okay, we'll check it. If it is possible, then no need to find the support reactions. Okay, right. Anyway, first always we'll try with shortcuts. If shortcuts are not possible, then we'll use method of joint or method of section. Okay, first I'll try with first shortcut. Okay, in the first shortcut, at the joint, if the number of members are 3, 2 are in same line, then force in third member is 0. And condition, at that particular joint, no load, no reaction, right? Okay, right. Then here, right. Then look at here. So shall I find the support reactions first? Yes, support reactions are required first. Okay, right. Then this is hinged support, right? At the hinged support, number of reactions are 2. Okay, that is horizontal reaction HE and vertical reaction VE. Okay, then here roller support, right? Only one vertical reaction VH. Okay, first I'll find the horizontal reaction. To find the horizontal reaction, use horizontal equilibrium equation. Okay, right. Horizontal equilibrium equation. Okay, nothing but right moving forces equals to left moving forces. In this diagram, what are the right moving forces? Initially, I don't know the direction of these reactions, please. Okay, we don't know the direction of this reaction. Initially, we have to assume one direction. You can assume this is right side or left side, your wish. Are these vertical reactions upward or downward? Okay, finally, after finding these values, if these values will get positive, okay, if you get positive, then assume direction is correct. If you get negative direction, then assume direction is wrong. We have to change the direction. When if you get negative value, if you get positive value, no need to change the direction of reactions, please. Okay, right. Here in this diagram, what are the right moving forces? HE moving towards right side. Okay, and a load P also moving towards right side. Okay, and here this load is moving towards left side now. Okay, so first I'll consider right moving forces. Okay, so here HE is right side and this load P also right side. So right moving forces are over, right? Next I'll consider left moving forces. In this diagram, what are the left moving forces? Only P. Then from this equation, can you find the reaction HE, please? So HE equals to 0, please. Okay, so we got here horizontal reaction at support E is 0. Okay, similarly, find the vertical reactions. Okay, to find the vertical reactions, use vertical equilibrium equation. That is, downward forces equals to upward forces. In this diagram, what are the upward forces? VE upward, VH also upward. Okay, so here VE plus VH both are upward, right? Then what are the downward forces? In this diagram, there is no vertical downward forces. Okay, then here it is 0, no vertical downward forces. Then from this equation, VE equals to minus VH, right? Okay, VE equals to minus VH. It means both vertical reaction magnitudes are same place. Okay, both vertical reaction magnitudes are same, but direction is different because we got one is positive, another one is negative. Okay. Right. Now, how to find the vertical reaction values? Taking movement at any one of the support. Okay, you can take movement at support E or at support H, that is your wish. Okay, for example, I'll take movement at support E. Okay, then taking movement about E. Okay, taking movement about right. Then here summation of moment about E equals to 0. Okay, what are the sign conventions here? So anti-clockwise negative, clockwise positive. Okay, anti-clockwise negative, clockwise positive. Right. In this diagram, we taken movement about support E, right? Okay. Now target is support E. VH clockwise or anti-clockwise? Okay, towards support A. VH is anti-clockwise. So anti-clockwise is negative, right? So minus VH into what the perpendicular distance from support H to support E? Perpendicular distance is L. Okay, and here there is a load P. This load clockwise or anti-clockwise? This is clockwise, right? So force into perpendicular distance. What is the perpendicular distance? L. So plus P into L. And this load also develop moment at E, right? Okay, then this is clockwise or anti-clockwise? This is anti-clockwise minus P into L equals to 0. Then from this equation, what is the VH value? VH value is 0 please. Okay, from this equation, VH equals to 0. Okay, if VH equals to 0, then VE also 0 please. Okay. Actually, by seeing the diagram, we can tell the values directly. Okay, right here, VE value 0, VH value also 0. Okay, right. Now, we'll find the forces in the members. Okay, first, I'll use the shortcut. Right, tell me, at G, okay, at joint G, only two members are meeting, right? Okay, and there is a load. Then do one thing, this load treat as a member. Okay, this load treat as a member please. Treat as a member. Okay, after treating this load as a member, then check it at a joint G, how many members are present. Load treat as a member please first. After treating load as a member, then how many members are present at a joint G? At a joint G, 3 members, right? 1, 2, 3. Then these two are in same line, collinear, right? Same line means collinear. Okay, then these two are in same line, then force in third member is, okay, force in third member is 0. Okay, right. Then do one thing, remove the 0 force member. Okay, remove the 0 force member. But practically, we never remove the 0 force member please. Okay, why? For stability purpose. Okay, for stability purpose, we have to keep the 0 force members like that only please practically. But theoretically, we can do anything. Okay, so theoretically, so we got force in member GH is 0, right? So theoretically, don't consider member GH. Remove the member GH theoretically, not practically please. Okay, right. Then after removing member GH, okay, just after removing member GH, okay, and here vertical reaction also 0, right? Okay, then here if this is roller support, at the roller support only one possible reaction is vertical reaction, but what is the vertical reaction value we got? 0. Then this member, force in this member 0, vertical reaction is 0, then don't consider support and don't consider this member, please. Okay, right. Then after removing this member and react support, only two members are present right here, this one and this one. Okay, then tell me, in these two members, okay, these two members are in same line or different line? These two members are in different line. Second shortcut. Yes or no? What is second shortcut? At the pin joint, if the number of members are 2, but 2 are in different line, then forces in the two members are 0, please. Okay, forces in the two members are 0. And condition, at that joint, no load, no reaction, right? Okay, then here reaction value is 0. Okay, and don't consider this member, please, because force in this member is 0. After neglecting support and this member, only two members are left at joint H, and these two are in different line, not in same line. Then force in this member 0, in this member also 0, please. Okay, right. Then next, now consider support E. At support E, vertical reaction is 0, horizontal reaction also 0, right? Okay, if vertical reaction 0, horizontal reaction 0, what the force in this member? You'll get 0 only, please. Okay, otherwise consider joint F. Okay, consider joint F. At joint F, generally how many members are meeting? Don't consider 0 force members, please. Okay, don't consider 0 force member. Just remove this 0 force member. Okay, remove this 0 force member. After removing 0 force member, then this load treat as a member. Okay, this load treat as a member. Then here, after treating this as a member, okay, this load treat as a member. Then these two are in same line, force in that member 0, please. Okay, remember, when force in this member 0, if force in this member 0, then only force in this member 0, please. Okay, then only here one member is subjected to force, right? Which member? That is Fg. Then find the force in member Fg. Then here just balance the joint G. How to balance the joint G? Okay, use sigma H equals to 0 at joint G. Okay, nothing but right moving force equals to left moving forces. Okay, here right moving force is P, right? Then left moving force also P, please. Okay, then here what is the value? This is 150 kilonewton. Okay, so these are nothing but P values. Okay, next we have to find the K values, right? First note on this. Right, next we'll find the K values. But remember, to find the K values, we have to remove the real loads. Okay, what are the real loads here? P, P, these are the real loads. Remove the real loads and apply unit virtual load, okay, at joint G in horizontal direction. Why at joint G? Because I want to find the horizontal displacement at joint G. And why horizontal direction? Why not vertical direction? Because I want to find the horizontal displacement, na, then we have to apply virtual unit load in the direction of displacement only, please. Okay, so here K value K values. Okay, first remove the real loads. Remove the real loads. So let me draw the diagram. So given this is E, F, G, H, right? So this is E, F, G, H. Okay, and this is a given length 3 meter given, right? Length given 3 meter and your length given 3 meter. Okay, right. Here we have to find the horizontal displacement at joint G, right? Okay, then apply virtual unit load at joint G in horizontal direction. Okay, again using method of joint or method of section, we have to find the force in all the members, please. But for this diagram, finding force in all the members, it is waste of time, please. Okay, to save the time, just see the p values. Okay, here we have p values only in member Fg, right? Okay, we have p value only in member Fg. Then find the k value only in member Fg. Finding k values in rest of members, it is waste of time, please. Why it is waste of time? Because this is the formula, right, to find the horizontal displacement at a joint G. Okay, pkl by r. R is axial rigidity. Okay, then p into k, right? If p value 0, 0 into some value 0 only, right? Then no need to find the k values in all the members, please. Okay, so we have p values only in member Fg, right? Then find the k value only in member Fg. In rest of members not required. Okay, so find the k value only in member Fg. Right, how to find the force in member Fg? At joint G, okay, just balance joint G. How to balance joint G? Okay, use method of joint at G. Okay, use sigma h equals to 0. Right moving force is equals to left moving forces. Okay, then this force is towards right side, right? If it is right side, then force is here left side, like this. Now what is the value here? 1. So right moving force is 1, then left moving force also 1. Then no need to find the k values in rest of members. Okay, so we got p values, k values, and by axial rigidity. Axial rigidity value directly given in the question. Okay, then what are the sign conventions we have to follow here? Okay, here sign conventions are, if it is subjected to tensile force, I'll follow positive. Okay, and the member is subjected to compressive force, I'll consider negative, please. Okay, so here sign convention. Right, sign conventions. Tension positive. Okay, compression negative. Okay, so what is the formula? Horizontal displacement at a joint G equals to summation of PKL by AE. AE is nothing but given notation is R. Okay, but don't need to consider all the forces, right? All the members forces. Okay, we'll consider only one member, that is Fg, right? Then here force in member Fg into K value in member Fg into length of member Fg divided by R, please. Okay, so here horizontal displacement at a joint G. First, what is the P value in member Fg we got? Now this is the P value in member Fg, right? Okay, then tell me here, this arrow subjected to compressive force or tensile force? Okay, if arrow away from the joint, okay, if arrow away from the joint, it is called tension. If arrow towards the joint, it is called compression. Okay, so in this diagram, tell me, this arrow away from the joint G or toward the joint G? This arrow away from the joint G, right? That is called tension. Okay, remember, for each and every member will mark 2 arrows. Okay, for each and every member will mark 2 arrows. For left joint, this is the arrow. Okay, for right joint, this is the arrow, please. Okay, then look at here, this left arrow, now consider left joint. From joint F, this arrow away from the joint F or toward the joint F? This is away from the joint F, right? Then tension. Then this arrow away from the joint G or toward the joint G? Away from the joint G, so it is subjected to tension. So if it is tension, okay, what are the sign conventions? If it is tension, positive, right? Then positive, these values we got 150, right? Now this is the P value in member Fg. Then what is the K value in member Fg? What is the K value? Right. Now this is the K value, right, in member Fg. Again check it. Is it compressive force or tensile force? Arrow away from the joint G or toward the joint G? This arrow away from the joint G, so it is tensile force. Okay, so tension is positive, right? Yes, positive. What is the value here? It is 1. Okay, next, length of member Fg. What is the length of member Fg, please? 3, right? 3 meter. I'll convert into mm. Okay, so here this is 3000. This is in mm, please. Okay, 3000 mm divided by, okay, axial rigidity. R is nothing but axial rigidity, right? In the question is given. So what is the axial rigidity value given? So here axial rigidity value is given 500 into 10 to the power of cube kilo Newton. Okay, so here 500 into 10 to the power of cube kilo Newton. Okay, then solve this one. After solving this one, I think you'll get 0.9 mm. Okay, so this is the horizontal displacement value at a joint G, please. Okay, so here we got positive and negative. This value positive. Then positive sign implies deflection is in the direction of unit load. Okay, positive sign implies deflection is in the direction of unit load. Okay, so we applied unit load in which direction? Towards right side na. Okay, then here deflection also towards right side, please. Okay, so positive sign implies deflection is in the direction of unit load. If you get this value negative na, then deflection is opposite to the unit load. Okay, right. Now this is the answer, please. Okay, please note on this. Right. Next question. Okay, right. Now this is the question. Refer the truss as shown in the figure. Okay, this is not to scale, please. Okay, but this is symmetrical truss only, please. Okay, this is symmetrical truss. Okay, he given load F equals to 10 root 3 kilonewton and moment of inertia value given. Okay, and area of cross sectional given. Okay, and length 2 meter for all the members. Okay, he given length through 2 meter for all the members is given, please. Okay, then he asking to find the compressive stress, okay, in kilonewton per meter square carried by the member QR. Okay, this is member QR is, please. Okay, he asking to find the compressive force in member QR in this member. Okay, what is compressive stress, please? Compressive force by area, right? Area is given, area of member QR is given 2A, right? Only thing is, if you know force in member QR just divided by area, then we will get the compressive stress, please. Okay, then to find the force in member QR, you can use method of joint, method of section, or if possible you can use the shortcut also if it is possible. Okay, to find the force in all the members, we'll prefer method of joint. To find the force in few members, we'll prefer method of section. Okay, now using method of section, I'm going to find the force in member QR, please. Okay, first note down this question, please. Right, here given length 2 meter for all the members, right, for all the members. Okay, it means this is 2 meter, then incline member also 2 meter, right? Okay, all members are 2 meters only, please. Okay, then if it is 2 meter, this also 2 meter, then what is the angle here? This angle is 60 degrees, right? Yes or no? Because this is 2 meter and this is 2 meter. Okay, right. Then can you find this vertical distance, please? What is this vertical distance? Okay, then here for example, this vertical distance is for example x, please. Okay, vertical distance value is for example x. What is the x value here? Okay, here sine theta, that is sine 60 degrees equals to x by 2, right, incline tan. Okay, then from this equation x equals to 2 into sine 60 degrees. Okay, x equals to 2 into sine 60 degrees, please. Okay, right. Now I want to find the force only in member QR. Okay, to find the force in member QR, I'll use method of section. Tell me how to cut the structure to find the force in member QR. Okay, how to cut the structure? You can cut the structure horizontally cut, vertically cut, or inclined cut. But two conditions must satisfy. What are the two conditions? First condition, section should pass through selected member. How to know which one is selected member? In which member we want to find the force, that member is selected member. Here selected member is QR. Okay, so here first condition, section should pass through selected member, and second condition, section should divides the entire structure into two separate parts. Okay, entire structure into two separate parts. Okay, right, here for example I'll cut the structure like this. Okay, I'll cut the structure like this. Okay, then consider either left part of the structure or right part of the structure. Any part, you will get the same answer only, please. But always prefer which part has less forces, please, just to save the time in examination, please. Okay, to reduce the calculation part, to reduce the time. Okay, which part has less number of forces, then we will consider that part, please. Okay, so here if you look right part means this is the section, right? For example, this is the section 1 1. Okay, section 1 1. Then left part is section 1 1, this part is left side is left part, section 1 right side is right part please. Okay, so better consider only left part of the structure. Okay, then first here this is hinged support, right? At the hinged support number of reactions are 2. First we have to find the 2 support reactions. Okay, so here horizontal reaction HP and vertical reaction VP. Okay, I told this is symmetry, right? Okay, then what is the F value given here? 10 root 3, then divided by 2, then this is 5 root 3, and here also Vs equals to 5 root. And what is the horizontal HP value? To find the horizontal reaction value, use sigma H equals to 0. Right moving force equals to left moving forces. In this diagram, right moving force is HP, and here there is no left moving forces in this diagram. Then horizontal reaction is 0 please. Okay, right. Now I'll draw the free body diagram of left part of the structure because I want to analyze the only left part of the structure. Okay, right. Then draw the left part of the structure separately. So this is the joint Q, right? Inclined member. And this vertical reaction value is 5 root 3, and your horizontal reaction HP equals to 0. Right. Then this is R. Right. Then after considering section, okay, we have to assume some nature of force only in cut members. Okay, only in cut members. Okay, now these are the cut members, right? Okay, section is passing through member QR, member QT and member PT. Only for this cut members we would assume nature of force initially. You can assume either compression or tension, that is your wish please. Okay, but I'll follow tensile force. Okay, so initially assume tensile force please. You can assume compressive force also, that is your wish. Okay, so here after knowing force in this member, if you get negative value na, then negative sign implies assumed direction is wrong. If you get positive value, then assumed direction is correct. It means this is tension. If you get negative, compression. If you get positive, then it is tension only please. Okay, right. Then what is the this vertical height please? We got x value, right? So what is the x value we got? 2 sin 60, right? So this x value is 2 into sin 60 degrees. Okay, 2 into sin 60 degrees. Right. Then tell me how to find the force in member QR. You can use sigma H equals to 0, sigma V equals to 0 or sigma M equals to 0. I told to find the force in horizontal member, okay, to find the force in horizontal member, preferable equilibrium equations are sigma H equals to 0 and sigma M equals to 0 to find the force in horizontal member. Okay, and to find the force in vertical member, preferable equilibrium equations are sigma V equals to 0 and sigma M equals to 0. And to find the force in inclined member, preferable equilibrium equations are sigma H equals to 0, sigma V equals to 0 and sigma M equals to 0. Okay, so here member QR, right? We have to find the force in member QR. So QR is horizontal member, right? For horizontal member, preferable equilibrium equations, sigma H equals to 0 and sigma M equals to 0. No need to try with sigma V equals to 0, please. Sigma V is not possible for member QR in this diagram, please. Okay, first try with sigma H or sigma M, please. Okay, first I'll try with sigma H equals to 0. So preferable equilibrium equation for horizontal member, sigma H equals to 0 and sigma M equals to 0. First try with sigma H equals to, using one horizontal equilibrium equation, we can find only one horizontal unknown at a time. Okay, then tell me in this diagram how many horizontal cut members are present. Okay, how many horizontal cut members, please. And remember, if any inclined cut members are present, okay, if any inclined cut members are present, inclined cut members consider as a horizontal cut member and vertical cut member both, please. Okay, if inclined cut member is present. Okay, in this diagram, any inclined cut member? Yes, there is one inclined cut member is there now. If inclined cut member is present, this we have to consider as a horizontal cut member and vertical cut member both. Now tell me, in this diagram, total how many horizontal cut members are there? 1, 2, and if inclined is present, I told consider this is horizontal and vertical both, na, then 3 horizontal cut members are present. Then tell me, using one horizontal equilibrium equation, can you find the 3 horizontal cut members values at a time? No. Then sigma H is not possible. Okay. Next, we'll try with sigma M equals to. Okay, right. And what is the concept for moment equilibrium equation? Okay, for moment equilibrium equation, all the cut members, okay, all the cut members do not meet at single joint. Okay, all the cut members do not meet at single joint. For which equilibrium equation? Only for moment equilibrium equation. Okay, for moment equilibrium equation, only unwanted members should meet at single joint. Okay, how to know which one is wanted member and which one is unwanted member? Okay, right. Here we want to find the force in member QR, right? Then this is wanted member because I want to find the force in member QR. So member QR is wanted member and rest of cut members are unwanted members. What are the rest of cut members here? Member QT and member PT. Okay, these two are. These are the rest of cut members. Okay, so these two are unwanted members. Okay, I told all the unwanted members should meet at single joint. Okay, all the unwanted members, but wanted member should not meet at that joint place. Okay, now check it in this diagram. All the unwanted members, is it meeting at single joint? At any joint place, and that joint may be in left part of the structure or in right part of the structure, whatever it is. But all the unwanted members should meet at single joint, at any joint. Okay, right here. Now look here. Now this is the unwanted members, right? Okay, line of action of these two unwanted members. Okay, line of action of these two unwanted members meeting at a joint T or not? Yes, line of action of these two unwanted members meeting at a joint T. and this is wanted member, right? This wanted member, is it meeting a joint T? No. Then sigma m equals to 0 is possible, please. Okay, so this is possible. Right. So moment at which joint? At T, right? At T equals to 0. So anti-clockwise negative, clockwise positive. Okay, we are doing analysis for which part, please? We are doing analysis for left part of the structure. Okay, doing analysis only for left part of the structure. Then consider only left part of the structure forces. Okay, only left part of the structure. At which joint? At joint T, because all the unwanted members meeting a joint T, right? Then we have to take moment about joint T equals to 0, please. Okay, right. Then in this diagram, tell me, wanted member clockwise or anti-clockwise toward the joint D? Wanted member clockwise, right? Okay, so clockwise is positive. Then what is the perpendicular distance? Q, sorry, 2 sine 60 degrees. Okay, so force in member QR is, for example, this is the FQR. Okay, just assume this is the FQR force. Then perpendicular distance is 2 into sine 60 degrees clockwise, right? Right here, clockwise force QR, perpendicular distance is 2 into sine 60 degrees. Okay, right. Next, an unwanted members, will it develop moment at joint T? No, unwanted members should not develop moment, please. Okay, so these two unwanted members meeting a joint T only na, then these two unwanted members will not develop moment at joint T, please. Always remember, for moment equilibrium equation, only wanted members should develop moment, please. Okay, unwanted members should not develop moment, only for moment equilibrium equation, not for sigma h equals to 0, not for sigma v equals to 0. Okay, right. Then unwanted members will not develop moment at joint T. Then here in this diagram, two support reactions are there. Okay, horizontal reaction value is 0, forget about 0 reaction, and there is a vertical reaction, right? This vertical reaction Vp, will it develop clockwise movement or anti-clockwise movement at joint T? This develop clockwise movement. Okay, this develop clockwise. Okay, so force into what the perpendicular distance, please? What the perpendicular distance? L. This is 2 meter, right? This is 2 meter. So force into perpendicular distance. So clockwise, right? Okay, so 5 into root 3 into 2 plus 5 into root 3 into 2, then equals to 0. That's it, right? I've taken all the forces, right? Yes. Now solve this equation. After solving this equation, then you'll get the force in member QR, please. Okay, you'll get the force in member QR. Okay, so here this is minus 10 kilo Newton. Okay, what is the force in member QR? Minus 10 kilo Newton. Then tell me what negative sign represent here. Here negative sign represent, okay, initially we assume tensile force na. Here we assume tensile force. We assume initially. Okay, but we got negative, so it is not tension, it is compression, please. Okay, if you get positive value na, okay, then here it is tension only. If you get positive value, but here we got negative value na, so negative sign implies we assume this is tension na initially, so it is not tension, it is compression, please. Okay, then here QR 10 kilo Newton This is compression. Again, don't show negative please. Okay, then we have to find the, he asking to find the compressive stress in member QR, right? Compressive stress in member QR. Okay, nothing but compressive force into area. So what is the compressive force we got? 10 kilo Newton, right? And what is the compression area of member QR? So what is the area given of member QR? 2A given, right? Okay, divided by 2A. Okay, then this is 5 by A please. Okay, 5 by A. Now this is compression, right? Okay, I already wrote there, right? And substitute the values please. What is the values given? What is the area given? Area is given 10 power of 4 mm square, right? Yes, 10 power of 4 mm square. Okay, so this is the compressive stress please. Okay, then this is kilonewton per mm square. So now 10 given in terms of kilonewton and area is given in terms of mm, right? Yes, area is given in terms of mm. Okay, right. Now this is the answer. Okay, first note on this please. Next, note on this please. Right. Now, next question. Okay, next question. Right. Now this is the next question. Right. In this, a propped cantilever beam EF. Okay. Now this is the propped cantilever beam EF is subjected to a unit moving load. Okay. Subjected to a unit moving load as shown in the figure, not to scale. Okay. The sign conventions for positive shear force at the left and right side of any section is also shown. Okay, he asking the correct qualitative nature of the influence line diagram for shear force at a joint G. Okay, he asking to find the qualitative diagram please. Okay, qualitative diagram means we don't know the, we don't want to find the ordinate values of influence line please. Just asking qualitative ILD, only shape of ILD asking please. Okay, that too shear force at a joint G. Okay, E, F, G, right? Right. Now these are the options given. Okay, first note on this question please. Next, and draw these diagrams. Okay, right, here solution. First let me draw the diagram. So this is the cantilever beam, right? This is given E, this is F, and somewhere he given G. Okay, he asking to find the, he asking to draw qualitative ILD for shear force at joint G, at point G. Okay, here to draw qualitative ILD, okay, I'll use Muller-Breslau principal concept, please. Okay, Muller-Breslau principal concept. What is Muller-Breslau principle? Okay, to draw ILD for shear force at G without removing support reactions, okay, without removing support reactions, okay, release the shear force at G, please. Why we have to release the shear force at G? Because we have to draw ILD for shear force at G. Then to draw ILD for shear force at G, Muller says release the shear force at G. How to release the shear force at G? By assuming vertical shear hinge, please. Okay, right. Just release the shear force at G. Now this is the vertical shear hinge. Just nothing but we are released shear force at G. Okay, then just hold the left member, or you can cut the member at G, please. Okay, you can cut the member at G. Okay, right. Hold the left member with left hand, okay, and right member with right hand. Okay, just hold the left member with left hand, right member with right hand. Always left to down, right up. Okay, just left to down, right up. If it is left to down, right up, okay, right, and wherever reactions are present, ordinate is 0. Okay, wherever reactions are present, ILD ordinate is 0, please. Okay, and left to down, right up, right, right, left to down, right. But here at the fixed support, what is the slope? 0. That is straight. Okay, this straight light will it is deflect like this. Now check it, slope here 0 or not? Yes, because this is fixed support, slope is 0. Okay, then next, here slope is it 0 at support F? Slope is not 0, right? Now check it, slope is it 0 here? No, slope is not 0, but your slope is 0 because fixed support. Okay, so below is negative, above is positive. This is ILD for shear force at G, please. Okay, ILD for shear force at G. Okay, so which option is correct, please? Option B is correct. Okay, and one more point. Proper cantilever beam is statically indeterminate structure, right? Okay, for indeterminate structures, variation of ILD, is it linear or non-linear? Variation of ILD is non-linear for indeterminate structures. If it is statically determinate structure, then variation of ILD is linear, please. Okay, but this is non-linear, please, because this is statically indeterminate structure. Okay, please note down.